But yeah, the when you play a Grand Theft Auto game, you're playing it essentially to beat the game, and to have fun in the world of the game. And the character that you play as is more or less supposed to be sort of an extension of yourself. It's supposed to be giving you a reason to be playing it, or it's supposed to be giving you a reason to be playing it, a reason to need to beat the game, a reason to win, something like that. Uh, they're supposed to make you feel as if you are deserving of winning. I mean, the guy in Vice City, he lost his drug things, and he's like, I'm going to get it back, and I'll take care of it, and and I will rip the balls off of whoever stole this stuff and thought they could do this and get away with it. You do someone like that, you're like, hey, yeah, this guy got some balls, yeah. In Grand Theft Auto 3, Catalina essentially stabs him in the back or shoots him in the face, however you want to look at it, and gets away. You're like, let's get this bitch. In San Andreas, someone killed his mother. You have to shoot someone at that point. It's kind of a requirement. I mean, they kill your family. You have to go after them. And they took his brother hostage and all that other crazy stuff. Later on in the game, they sort of take Sweet. Sweet is sort of taken hostage in a sense. But yeah, you feel his need to want CJ, to want the guy from Vice City, to want the mute from 3. You feel the need to want them to beat the game, to win. I didn't really get what was up with Nico. I mean, later on I found out that he was I watched the playthrough to find out exactly how the game ended. And it was about and I remember seeing something about that guy from U.S. Paper talking about he found the person who Nico was looking for. I didn't even know he was looking for nobody. And I'm pretty sure I paid pretty darn a good attention to his story. And apparently, somehow, this whole guy Nico was looking for flew way over my head. I'm truly stumped and astounded that I missed that. But at the same time, the game was so boring. I can see, the story pacing was so dull and dry. I can see exactly how I missed it, because you don't nothing. The only interesting thing that happened before you leave the first island is when you're leaving the first island. When you go to a place and when you leave the first island and you see the apartments on fire. That's the exciting thing. That's about it. That's when things start. That's when I think that the game started to pick up, and no, it just levels out at that point and just meanders on throughout to the end. What can I say? That's just what it does. I find the main character, I find Nico, to be very whiny, very dull, very boring, very annoying, very, very boring, and very annoying. There was no feeling of concern for me to him. I didn't care about him. I didn't see any issue that he had as really all that detrimental, especially when Roman got kidnapped. To me, he kind of brought the mess on himself, and I didn't give a 3 rat's asses about him. I'm thinking that, oh good, I hope he gets killed, because then I won't have to go bowling with him no more. But there you go on that. But let's see. But in fact, I remember seeing a rant about Grand Theft Auto 4. I think it was by Last Celtic something. I believe it was some numbers, but his evaluation or summation of Grand Theft Auto 4 was was the best way to explain this game. And he said it was just too boring, and it was like real life. And that was, and the way he said it was really good. He was saying, how would you feel? How do you feel? How does your average day go? I mean, you wake up, you watch a little, you go to work for a few hours, come home, watch a little TV, go to bed, wake up, watch a little TV, go to work. That's pretty much your daily job. How would you feel if they did a game about that? And like, well, they did. It's called Grand Theft Auto 4. And pretty much he's absolutely right. There's not much to go on through the game, the story. There's not much on to hold you there. There's a lot of little funny things here and there. The radio, um, for me, the music is a lot of miss more than hit. But that's just me. That's why I didn't put it on the list. To me, music is more of a personal thing. You can either like some things or you don't. Though in San Andreas, before San Andreas, I did not care for country. I can actually, it opened me up to the world of country. San Andreas did. So, yeah. But I will completely waive the whole music thing for Grand Theft Auto 4. Even though I will make this statement that I did not like I did not like much of the songs in 4. To me, it seemed like there weren't that many songs in 4. But who knows? It's probably because I didn't like the song, so I just kept turning from one to the next station and so on and so forth, and it just seemed like there was nothing on. Who knows? But the writing, the characters, the commercials on the television, the commercials on the television, the talk shows, you know, that stuff. It's that's GTA writing right there. I'm not gonna lie, that stuff is generally funny as hell, and I feel that it's a little bogged down, a little too much bogged down in reality and whatnot, trying to pass too much of a message too blatantly. I remember the subtlety in the old games is completely tossed out the window for 4, but whatever. Who cares? That's only a small part. And what if you don't like the music at all? You only import your own song, so that's completely tossed out the window for you as well. So you're not even listening to it. But I digress. Back to the it's like real life, and the game is like real life, and it's boring. I don't want to hear, or well, read or hear any smart ass comments like, how many people do I run over a day? How many hookers do I kill? How sick I am for doing these killings and murders and robbings and a lot of that. It's an analogy, and I still recognize that it is a game. Okay, I want us to be adults here when I make these statements, and I want you to sit down and understand. And if you disagree with me, tell me exactly why you disagree with me, and give me your response, and I might give you my response either on a video or a comment. But let's not be idiots about this. When I say it's like real life and it's dull, the dull things that you do in real life, like watch TV and what have you, you do in this game. And that's about the most entertaining parts of the game, which is a problem. You know, listening to the radio, watching TV is probably about the most fun I've had playing Grand Theft Auto 4, other than playing darts, and even that got old really quickly because I got sick and tired of taking everybody to go drinking or playing darts. You know, I don't know. Well, I do know. All the subtle nuances of the game, the little things that were fun, the little side doing this, going here, seeing this, seeing that, all those things that I said that they took out of the game, those are the little extra things I would do between missions, or instead of doing missions, I would just go out and do that stuff and have fun. I would go out, find weapons, start mayhem, shooting ballers, taking back, my territory and whatnot. I would go flying, listen to KDST, listen to Horse with No Name while flying, or I Love a Rainy Night. Doing wild driving around, taking my girlfriend on a date, one of the many girlfriends that you could get on in San Andreas. You can get girlfriends in Ford. You kind of got to go to the websites to get them. But again, they fall into that thing if they call you all the time to hang out with them, and that gets annoying. I like the other girls who you kind of had to, you knew you had to hang out with them. They would call you if you didn't hang out with them enough after their affection for you started going down. And they would, after their affection for you started going down, they'd call you to let you know, hey, I'm alive, bastard. Why don't you hang out with me? Stuff like that. And you didn't always have to hang out with them, and sometimes, unfortunately, they weren't home, so you couldn't hang out with them if you wanted to. You know, it was little charms like that that I love. But they took it all out in 4. They took all this exploration that I love to do. They took all this fun that they built up in San Andreas, and they got rid of it. And the thing is, I know they can do it. I own Red Dead Redemption. I know Rockstar can do expansive and beautiful if they really want to. The thing is, why didn't they for 4? I think we deserved it. I mean, we all bought enough of San Andreas. I would have figured, you know, that would have been a hint that we want more like it. And the closest thing you give to me, the closest thing that you give me like San Andreas is Red Dead Redemption. And as much as I do like, oh my God, I can't think of his name right now. The main character of Red Dead Redemption, I really wish I could remember his name. I cannot think of it for the life of me. As much as I like him, he's more of a serious kind of guy. And not that I don't like it. Westerns, that story felt like a Western where the main character is a serious kind of guy, so it went very well with his character. And I expected nothing less. And they really did give me what I expected. But they didn't do that with 4. And that's why that's a sequel that has gone sour. That not because of the character. No, I've explained it to you. We've all gone through over this. Even though the game as a video game is playable and you can have some fun with it and whatnot, it is not a Grand Theft Auto game. It's not Grand Theft Auto quality. It's not what you expect when you play a Grand Theft Auto game. You do not, if you've played the other ones, watched the stories, you know, when you play 3 and Vice City and San Andreas, when you've gone through those stories and whatnot, you're expecting something in 4 that wasn't delivered. I believe I hear a lot of rumors like it was better in Ballad of Gay Tony, or it was better in Lost in the Damned. But you see, those games came out. Those games came out after 4. Those games are not 4. That's not Grand Theft Auto 4: The Complete Story. That's Grand Theft Auto 4 and Grand Theft Auto Lost and Damned and Grand Theft Auto Ballad of Gay Tony. That's it. They are not the same game. They have different characters, as I said earlier. They have storylines that do go along the same period, but they go off and do their own things. They don't have very much to do with each other. And I know I'm repeating myself, but I just want to make that point very clear. They aren't the part of the Grand Theft Auto 4 sequel. They don't redeem 4. They may, to some people, redeem Rockstar, but to me, of course it doesn't damn redeem Rockstar. You give me this small ass city, you take away all the fun stuff that I could do in the previous games. I mean, at least I had more weapons in Vice. At least there were more weapons in Vice City. There were a lot more weapons in San Andreas, but you take away all of that and you expect me to be grateful? You take away all the variety of cars, of modes of transportation. You take away all the scenery, the fun places you could go to, do the great side missions like the triathlon, you know, stuff like that. You take away all this crazy fun stuff, and you acting like this is a crowning achievement. It's disgusting. It is disgusting. It is an insult to me and the rest of other games out there. And it disgusts me how other gamers sit down and defend it, and when some people who have said that it was a bad game, whatnot, it disgusts me how I see some of them backpedaling on what they said and say it's a good game. It's a good game, in the technical sense, yeah, but it's not a good GTA game. It's not a good GTA game at all. It's you know, the thing about it is, it's bad enough that you took me back to a city that was already introduced in earlier on in the series. That's not bad. It's bad, but it's not a game-breaking deal. The thing is, you lock me in that city, and I don't get to see any other places. When it seems that you spent all this time making it look good, when you could have spent some of this time making it look all right and giving us more. You use all the processing, it's like they use all the space on the disc just to make the city look real as they possibly could, instead of giving me a game that was different, that was bigger, that was deserving of a GTA title. They didn't do that at all, and I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted I'm disgusted at the reviewers who gave it a perfect. I'm disgusted at the official reviewers who gave it a perfect. And I'm even more disgusted at the reviewers who ought to know better about a good game, giving it a perfect, saying it's a good game when it really isn't. Giving them a pat on the back for just phoning in this job, because that's all 4 feels like. It feels like a phoned-in job. They could have done better with 4. I mean, you saw them. How fast did they crank out Lost and Damned in Ballad of Gay Tony? How fast were those games cranked out? Were they working on all 3 of those at the same time? Why? Why not, if you're going to do something like that, release the entirety as a one-shot deal, and we all progress through Nico, the guy in Lost and Damned, and the guy in Bay Tony's story. We all intertwine in between them and their stories, not finishing one and then moving to the other, but as we all do missions, it's like we see what they all happen to be doing at this particular time in this part of the storyline. Why not do something like that? That probably would have been great. That probably been like, I like this character more than this one, and it giving you more variety and giving you something more, something better than this. I mean, God, that's all I want to. That is when sequels go sour. That's the first episode. The first episode of when sequels go sour for on Gamers on Gaming. The next when sequels go sour will be a toss up. Actually, you know what? The next when sequels go sour, I probably won't be telling you the future when sequels go sours, because generally it's, I guess, I want to build up anticipation, but this is a very special case now that I really want to jump on ASAP, because this game hasn't come out yet, but it is. But I'm putting it on. Well, you know what? No, I can't call that one. Sequel gonna sour until it comes out. That would be unfair. But we're gonna talk about it. Infamous 2. We're gonna talk about Infamous 2, and it's a slip down the sour game slope, because I have seen some things about this game. I actually started not to record part 3 of the podcast because of what I've seen of Infamous 2. It had everything I see about this game makes me want to get it less and less and less, and I wonder what the hell is Sucker Punch thinking? What are they doing? But I think we'll talk about that a little later. I hope you all enjoyed when sequels go sour. I hope you understand why this game is bad, and what do I mean when I say it's bad, and why I hope that you all will stand with me, and when you hear someone talk about this game, you inform them, no, this is actually a very bad game for Rockstar. This is a bad game for Rockstar. It's a bad GTA game. So I want you all to stand with me on this, because the reason I want sequels when sequels go sour. I want this to be a good segment. I really do. I know that I haven't really stated that I want this. I really do want this podcast to do well. I really do. But I really, really want when sequels go sour to be really good, because that's why I'm asking you all. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you all liked about it. Tell me what you didn't like about it. If you agree, tell me why you agree, what you agree about. If you disagree, like I said, be an adult. Tell me exactly what I said that was wrong, so I can apologize, rescind, and retract my statement, clarify what I meant to you, or, we can agree to disagree without being disagreeable. We can be adults about this. But I want this to pick up because of games like Infamous 2, and because the sequels that we will be reviewing when sequels go sour. Because what do I mean when I say like Infamous 2? A game that looks like it's going to be far inferior to its predecessor. You can say, that Shady Knights, you are being completely crazy here, and you are jumping the board. You're jumping the you're jumping the gun. The game isn't out yet. You can't say it's going to be bad. You just see the trailers and stuff like that, and la da 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 da. And normally I'd agree with you, but I've been too right in the games that I predicted and how they were going to turn out after 4, because 4 was pretty much the one that I saw the writing on the wall, but I gave them the benefit of the doubt. I gave them the benefit of the doubt, and they gave me Grand Theft Auto 4. I don't want that to happen again. They already did this with Mass Effect 2. They already... but we will get into that one later. But they've done it with 4, they've done it with Mass Effect 2, and they've done it with plenty of other sequels that we will be going on with. And I'm saying this, and when sequels go sour, we'll probably have a brother segment, or sister segment, sequels going sour, something like that, for games that haven't been released yet. But we see the writing on the wall. We see where this is headed, and we need to talk about this. Now, I haven't written down anything for it yet, but I will say, I have played. If you haven't played Infamous, then I haven't written down anything for Infamous 2 just yet. But like I said earlier, the what I've seen in the commercials, the karma, I guess I really want to talk about it, but I have to restrain myself. I have no script for it, and I know I will talk for another hour if I don't have my script. But yeah. Oh God. But that's it for When Sequels Go Sour, Part 3 of Episode 1 of Gamers on Gaming Podcast. I'm going to stop this. I guess I'll stop this now. Edit it, put it up, finish editing Final Fantasy X. Well, yeah, I'll edit it, put it up, and I guess I'll see you guys after I finish editing this one. I guess I'll start on the last part of podcast, and then we'll work on more things for Gamers on Gaming. Not everything I do will be more or less episodic unless I inform you that this is the episodes. I guess you can just look at these as extras. So I hope you all having a great time. Hope you all are doing great in school. If you're not in school, I hope you're doing great at work. If you're not in school and at work, I hope you're having a great day. And Shady Knights will see you all in a little bit.